him for a while. He was my coach. And then when I decided to shift to maybe doing a bodybuilding competition, because I did this, he worked with me through this long cut from like 175 pounds down to about 153 last year. And everybody was like, do you do MMA? Do you box? Do you compete? And I was like, telling my husband, I was like, do you think I should do that? And he was like, yeah, go for it. You should do it. And my husband has always been my number one supporter. And so I hired a trainer in person at the gym who was Coach Scott G. He's on Instagram, Coach Scott GEE, like the letter G. So he was my trainer for about a year in person, helping me with legs and what macros to eat, things like that, coaching me through it because I had a back injury a few years ago that made it to where I couldn't do legs at all for about 8 months. I couldn't do core work. I couldn't do legs. It was just a disaster. So I always have it in my mind that my legs are behind. My legs have to catch up. And he helped me so much grow my legs. And then last minute, 3 weeks before the competition, 3 months out, I was having some issues. I did end up in the hospital at one point during prep. And I just decided I need a female coach. And my coach, Scott, agreed with me. And I found Ashley. So I now work with Ashley Jones, and she is amazing. All of my coaches have been amazing over the years in helping me transform and reach my goals. But I know that Ashley is going to take me places. So I'm super excited. Ashley is actually number 3 in the world right now for women's bodybuilding, Miss Olympia. If you haven't seen her online, check her out. She's at Ivy Strong 2, the number 2. And she is a beautiful soul inside and out. And she is so knowledgeable about not just exercise, but nutrition and also the balance of lifestyle. And, you have to have a balance when you do bodybuilding with your life. And so we went to the Ronnie Coleman, and I did not think my legs were going to be ready, like come out, because my body stores all the fat in my legs. But in 3 weeks, she got my legs to come out, and they looked great on stage. And now I'm just super excited to move forward with her in bulk this year and then compete again next year. Hopefully, my goal is to move from figure more into physique. That's my category I want to be in. So, but the judges, their only feedback was I need to grow if I want to be in physique. They said my posing was on point. I was the most confident on stage. They said all good things. So I'm excited. Physique is in my future.
Well, like I said, I one of my things is, well, I'm the emperor of bodybuilding. I'm aware of Miss Jones, so there's no need to say
Yes,
I
she
am
is
aware because
amazing.
yeah, she's. This is from her when she competed at 2022 at the Olympia. She just wow, I love that smile. Her body just amazing. I just
She's
oh
gorgeous.
yeah, she's gorgeous. I mean, and yes, I mean especially when she was originally she earned a pro card in figure,
Hmm.
then did physique. Then there was that year where she did get a first qualification for the Olympia, but she had to step away because it was dealing with some medical issues. Come back, didn't do as well at the next year, and took the break. Comes back, and now she's top 3 both in the at the Olympia, top 3 in the world for women's bodybuilding. I mean, she's amazing. I mean, I'm a fan of this young lady.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah. And anyway, that's the thing about it. Yeah. Getting to the sport, it's really a lot to it. Understanding your factors. And the thing is, I say this, women and men, our biologies are different. We do share some things like kidneys and hearts and everything, but
Yes.
biology is different because y'all ones who bear our children. You got 2
Hmm.
babies. I grew up in a family, we weren't that close. I mean, well, was it a week before last? My sister just turned 67. I'm 50. So there's a
Okay.
lot of distance between. I have an older brother. He's in his 70s, because my father had a
Okay.
son before him. Yeah, I could see, yeah, but we're close. I can say that when it comes out of family. But there's a lot of work involved with this as a bodybuilder. I mean, and then you did pretty good. Like I see your medals there. Which classes you were doing both physique and figure. What was places each divisions and classes?
So I only had one competitor in physique, and I was a little disappointed about that because I really wanted to be like lined up with multiple people and see how I compared. I wanted to see those videos afterwards and see, okay, wow, she looks great there. I need to work on this. But I just had the one competitor. But I want to start by saying that she was absolutely amazing. We were backstage and she was behind me just because we were in number order. And she just looked at me and she was like, girl, you don't even be nervous. She's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. She's like, you just go out there and you have a good time. And she's like, and you take your time. She's like, you worked so hard to get here. And it was just so nice to have that backstage right before I went on, for the first time. And I can't remember her Instagram name, but I
Uh,
did
it's
find her.
uh,
I
it's
did.
Zuniga. It's
Yeah, it starts
Zuniga.
with a Z.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zuniga. Yeah, I just started following her. She was posting some stuff from backstage. Like she talked to a couple of guys that were guys. One
Yes.
guy was in '60s, one guy in his '50s, and a bikini. And she has some energy about her. I even reached out to maybe I might get to do an interview with her sometime soon.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to see an interview with her and learn more about her. But I found her and messaged her. I was like, I'm so glad I found you because you are amazing. And so we've connected now. And that's one of the things I love about this competition is I have connected with a few people, some from bikini, some from physique, things like that on Instagram. And I just love creating this like awesome fit fam out there. But yeah, so I competed in physique and figure. And my only goal with this competition was to gain knowledge of bodybuilding and competitively and what the competitions are like and to get feedback from the judges so I know what do I need to work on. So physique and figure, I got in physique I got first place in women's 40 plus, which is the masters 40 plus. And then for open, taller than 5'6" because I'm pretty tall. I'm almost. They measured me at 5'8" and a fourth there, but I'm 5'8" and 3/4. So I don't know how that worked out, but 5'9" ish. But so for the tallest category, I got first place, and then also true novice. But I was like the only true novice, so that's how I got first place for that. And then for overall, of course, she got physique, and she earned it. She looks amazing. I'm just looking at her like I want to look like you. Um, and then for figure, I got first place for Masters 40 plus, first place true novice, and then also for open for my height. But again, if I remember correctly, for that category as well, I was the only one for that height range. So that's how I got the first place on that. But the second place for open or overall on figure was second place. So I got second on that.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. I mean, I think with some shows, especially when this is a regional show, you usually don't get a lot of bodies. I think you get more bodies for like divisions like bikini and wellness because they're a little more
Hmm.
popular. Figure still a little bit more popular. I talk about this on my channel how the physique and women's bodybuilding are getting a little bit shunned. As you know, there's this thing going on right now with Arnold. He just announced he's raising the prize money for Young Classic. I'm not a big. I used to love watching his movies as a kid. Arnold and
Uh-huh.
Mr. Arnold and Arnold but now I'm not a fan of his policies when it comes to the women because he's pushed out divisions like women's bodybuilding and physique and figure. But it's always about
Mhm.
a money thing. But he can find $250,000 to get another one man. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, I know working with Ashley, she's really brought you in.
Oh yeah, honestly, when like I didn't even know she would accept me as a client. When you're a person and you're trying to better yourself and build yourself in bodybuilding or anything, you're always like your biggest critique, and I never like feel like I'm like going to be enough, you know what I'm saying, even though I put all the work in and try so hard. So when I found out that she was going to accept me as a client, I literally cried. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like she took me on, I'm so excited. Yeah, that's her right there. She is so sweet, she is so awesome. And I just can't say enough good things about her. Like all of my coaches have been amazing along the way, but I honestly feel like now that I found her, like this is it. Like, cause she, like, I was having really bad digestive problems. I was in the ER for it for a little, at one point during prep, which I thought was just gonna throw things off. It was horrible. Literally within days, she helped me, like signing on with her. Like she told me to do these things, and it helped so much. So I'm forever grateful for that. But I don't remember what I was going to say about the competition though, but yeah. Oh, I was going to say, yeah. The reason I ended up doing the Ronnie Coleman is at first I was going to do the WBBF. I had signed up for that one, and the date for that competition was the 24th of May, and that one was that brand new federation, that was coming out, and I can't remember the name of the husband and wife that run it, but
It was run by Betty Friso and her husband Ed, Because
Yeah, I'm really bad
yeah,
with names, but
yeah.
yeah, he had medical issues and all that, and they'd had a son pass recently and stuff. So I think they just decided to cancel them and step back and focus on family, which I completely get that, and I would have done the exact same thing in their shoes. Like I would have definitely done that. So good on them for taking care of their family and putting that first. But so because that was canceled, I was like, ooh, I got to find because I'm already prepping and cutting for this specific date. I need to find something close by and so I found the Ronnie Coleman in Fort Worth, which is only a couple hours from me. So I was like, "Ooh, that's the one right there." So yeah, next year I'm going to try to find a competition where I know there'll be more competitors in physique to compete with. But
Well,
that
because that was a regional show. You're not nationally qualified yet because you didn't get the
no, no,
overall. You
no,
know, so
no.
you might have to find. It probably like there's the Battle of Texas. They have that. That's also possibly that's a regional qualifier for nationals.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right there. I think it's where is that in Texas? I forget. It's from the same like I know you saw Sheila Brown there. She's one of the promoters of the Texas Pro.
Yes.
Also, she does the Battle Up for Texas. In Texas, Texas and Texas, and that's a possibility for next year because, like I said, the coaches,
Hmm.
the judges told you need more size, but
Yes.
you feel like, especially with your height, it's a lot harder for women who are a lot taller to put on muscle. Like look at Ashley. Ashley's barely like me 5 feet tall, and
Yeah, I think she's 5 foot, if I remember
yeah,
correctly. Don't
eh,
quote me, but I think that's what
yeah.
she's.
And there's another lady who's like around about a little shorter as Michaela Aycock. She like the shorter women can put on muscles like, but I
Yeah,
think it's
it's the I think it's the length because the muscle isn't like stretched as far, so it makes it have that bigger appearance. But I don't know. I do hope in the next couple of years to maybe get to go up and eventually get a pro card. That's my goal. So
yeah.
um,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's everybody's goal because especially when you get into sport, you understand the factors in the training, the dieting. Most people when you look at bodybuilding, in the mindset of the everyday person, it says all you gotta do is put steroids and just take this and no, no. There's more to it. Is you don't follow
yeah,
a diet, especially you find out you because being a woman again, you had to find out that you had some issues, and
yeah.
it's good that you got those taken care of because that
Mhm.
helps you in your process. So, folks, while we get Kira here, we're going to jump into her social media for a bit. You want to follow her? Her links in the description of this live stream. Reach out to her, genuine interest, and also support. These ladies can need the support because this is a tough sport, and she's a new fish, so you got to be
Yeah,
careful. Right?
new fish,
So
definitely.
be gentle with her. So we're gonna jump here into your social media for a bit on your
Okay.
IG. All right, and here she is right here, and right, and she's counting off the days. This was day 4. What was that feeling like? We getting so close, making your debut.
As it got closer, I decided I used to work in the hospital. My background is cardiac ultrasound. That's what I went to college for, and that's what I did for several years. I just recently stopped a few years ago because it back problems from scanning. But so wearing a mask was something I thought, okay, I'm definitely going to do this to try to keep myself from getting sick. And I thought, what a fun way to just do a countdown on my mask, and I can do that on my Instagram for my because I post every workout I do since March of last year. Every single workout I have done has been posted on my page, along with progress photos and things like that. So, and I try to be pretty transparent and all that stuff. But yeah, I love the countdown. I did it on my water jugs too. Ashley had me drinking spring water to help me keep more minerals in my body as we were doing peak week, and it worked. People saw me wearing a mask, and of course they're like, "What does that say on it?" But then they see you wearing a mask, and they think, "Oh, she might be sick," so they stay away. So it definitely kept people away. So that was awesome. Um, I was just like, I worked too hard to get here. I don't want to get sick in the last few moments. My husband actually slept upstairs that last week before the competition because he had to go out of town for work. And when he got back, he was sick. So he slept
Oh,
upstairs. So
I feel bad. Poor man said he wants to lay down with his woman. Say, baby, I'm not seeing. No, no, baby, I can't. No, you can't,
he,
can't, can't. You gotta stay
he
with
didn't
me.
come
Yeah.
near me. Like if I was in the kitchen or something, he would stay in the living room until I left. And it was hard because he was gone for work and he came back and he was only back like a day and a half. And then he and my son left because my son got scuba certified Mother's Day weekend. So he went
Oh,
with him to do his scuba certification out of town. So he was gone again, and then he was still not feeling well when he got back. So we didn't see each other for like a week, it seemed like.
yeah. Well, congratulations to your boy. That's something he can take to if you want to get a career out of that.
Yeah,
And
he
your
loves
husband,
scuba. Yeah.
yeah, and your husband. How long y'all? What's his name? How long y'all been together?
So my husband and I are high school sweethearts, actually. I met my husband when I was 15 years old, and we started dating when I was 15 years old, and he was 17. And when we graduated high school, we immediately moved in together, and we got married when I was 19 and he was 20. He turned 21 the day after our wedding. So it's like a fun story I tell people because, we were poor, we couldn't do a whole lot. So we just went on a cruise for our honeymoon, and so he was my legal guardian, so I could drink on the ship because I was only 19. But but yeah, he is the most amazing support I've ever had. We've even had conversations with our children, explaining to them that this is not the norm. Most people do not meet people that young and stay together, but we have experienced many walks of life together, many changes, good and bad, and he is an excellent support. Like, I can't even tell you how much he supported me during all this. Hey, Clipper. Sorry,
Oh,
my
the dog
husband's
is
got
out.
home.
Yeah, there's. Well, honestly, my mother met my father when she was 16. He was 21, and
Yes.
they were together 55 years. Even though Dad was living in New Jersey for 30 years of it, and we were still here in North Carolina. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I think that is we find somebody you want to be with and compatible with, and he supports your bodybuilding because you know what, it's tough because sometimes I've interviewed ladies that told me that they were married before and then they got divorced because the husband liked their wife building muscle or changing the
Mhm.
aspects of what it is to be a woman. It's tough. Also, here she is backstage getting ready. What's that feeling like? Because getting ready, you getting prepped, you get your suits on and the
Oh, yeah.
tan and
I like to tell people about the tanning because I don't think it's the same at all competitions, but I was really surprised. Like, as I was walking in to get my first spray tan the day before, a girl was walking out and she was like, "I hope you're not modest," or whatever, like joking. And yeah, you go in there and like, I don't know, I hope I can say this, but everybody's naked. Like there is no privacy. Like, they have these little pop-up things they tan you in, but you can see right in there, like from the door as you walk in. And then they have like a corner with a bunch of fans, and all the girls just go stand there with their arms out for 10 minutes as they dry, like butt naked. And I was like, oh, okay. So they're like, take your clothes off and go get in a booth. And I was like, all right. And then they're like, okay, bend over. um, but they got to spray all the crevices, obviously. But the
oof.
pro tan people did such a good job, and I'm telling you, the girls that tanned me at like 6:30 in the morning were the same girls glazing me before I went on stage at like 6 o'clock. They were there all day, days in a row, just working so hard, and they did so well because I actually spilt something, like dropped food on my leg, and it like got the tan off. So, and they fixed it immediately. They like rubbed bronzer on it, made it smooth again, glazed me, and I was good to go. So their work is great, and their photographer was awesome. I had a mini private photo shoot I paid for, and Vanessa was my photographer. And I believe her Instagram is that girl squats, I think is what it is. It's at that girl squats, I think that's what it is. But I have tagged her in some of my recent stuff. But she was so sweet and she was so nice, and she had this little bitty doggy with her. It was so cute. He was like the little like mascot up there for everybody. But yeah, the tanning was interesting, and yeah, they do glue your suit to you, so you think you're gonna go home with this awesome tan, but nope. When you pull that thing off, you have white spots left behind. So, um,
Yeah, it's experience for like most people wouldn't want to put themselves through something like that, especially that tan. I often heard that tan is cold because you know what, you gotta get butt naked. So get like drop your pants, get naked before we take it, and but it's good that you enjoyed yourself and you enjoy your experience. Be on this, and the work you put into this because it's an investment being a bodybuilder.
mhm,
I say this quite often, like with the men's side all they gotta do is wear a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. But they do have their diets, their plans, everything like this. But y'all ladies, there's a lot more to it for y'all because here's the thing is you're a woman who's building muscle. You're changing the aspects of what people consider feminine. And it's often people who have their prejudgments of women are bodybuilding. Like laser taught me because they had to deal with people's harassments and stuff like that. But still, you have a passion for this, and
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. It's interesting to me because I have several, girlfriends on Instagram. We've never met each other before, but we chat regularly, ask each other questions. They're definitely, my fit fam, my support group on Instagram. But they post some things and tell me some things that people tell them that I'm just like, what on earth? Like, why do people feel they need to put others down to feel better about themselves? I don't get it. Like, I'm the type that I want to help people and lift them up, and I'm like, yeah, you got this. Just keep going. But honestly, I'm probably gonna jinx myself, but I have had zero negative comments. I've only been doing a public Instagram for a little over a year now. I kind of wish I'd started sooner, but the whole confidence of putting yourself out there thing. But zero negative comments. My family's been supportive. Everybody on Instagram's been supportive. So I don't know how I've managed to dodge that, but I'm sure it's going to come at some point. But I'll just have to be prepared.
yeah, I competition has some ladies that sometimes it's worse. It's just mostly people who don't have the mentality to do what y'all do, to make the
Yeah.
sacrifice, to put in the time, put in the work,
Hmm.
understand what's involved with bodybuilding. It's always a prejudgment that everybody's on steroids, everybody's just natural bodybuilding, but it's a different look compared to the more
Yeah.
enhanced competitors. But here's the thing: there's that other flip side. There's the other guys. Is one of my crimes, Car, is I am a muscle person. I love y'all ladies. Y'all just excite me with your buff muscles. I can't.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just, just
I do
yeah,
have some men and women that are like, oh, is it weird that I want to feel your muscles or stuff like that? I'm like, whatever, you're fine. Like, I don't care. As long as people don't get inappropriate with their comments, I'm not going to block them. So, but I've had a few that were like, went a little too far. So they got blocked. But yeah, I will say too that like I don't even get. I have had like one. I have a lot of tattoos. Michael Norris is my tattoo guy. His Instagram is the Real Hub Tattoo, HUB. He lives in another state now, but he comes in like twice a year to tattoo his clients. And he just finished a very large piece on my side and over my abdomen for me. But I've had like one guy in a store one time say, "Why would you do that to your body?" Like an older man, but I was just like, and brushed it off. But other than that, I've never really had any negative comments in public either. Like literally every time I cut to be lean, like I am right now, last year, same thing. Complete strangers will walk up to me in the grocery store, in the parking lot. Today, I went to lunch with my friend at 1 o'clock, and this girl was walking by, and she's like, "Yeah," like flexing her arms as she walked by. It's all positive. So I don't know. I just haven't encountered the negative yet. Just that one man that commented on my tattoos, and it wasn't even that bad. But um,
yeah. I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of tattoos either. I don't have any, And also,
mhm.
when you said you worked as a cardiac nurse, I want to say, from a person who has a pacemaker, I say I appreciate you because tomorrow I got to go do an echo for my heart. But
That's what I did. I did the echocardiograms,
I appreciate people.
specifically adults. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I really do because I had this about 10 years. I had a heart attack when I was 39 years old. I didn't take care of myself like supposed to, but I was
Mhm.
working,
That's
trying to
right.
live life. Yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
my anatomical heart right here on my
Wow.
arm.
Wow. Is it beating? You do a little muscle. So guys, yeah, guys, she did a little slight little flex for you guys, so you don't have to ask. So be cool. That guys always like that. We have here some people in the comment sections. Shout out to my man, the art of female muscle. It says, I saw that at the Ronnie Coleman show. You competed in both figure and WPD. If you were forced to choose, which one of those divisions would you most likely choose to join and why? Shout out to you, my man.
Well, right now, I was originally training for physique. So originally, I hired a posing coach, but she put me in physique, and I think it's because like I have like a lot of striation in my shoulders, so I think that's why she put me in physique. But then that relationship didn't work for me, so I decided to move on and find a different posing coach, and that's when I hired Miss Flexi Brown on Instagram with two X's, Sheila Brown, and she was my coach. Taught me posing since January, I think, is when we started, and she went ahead and coached me through physique. And then when I hired Ashley, Ashley was like, "Ooh, I think you're more figure," and I was like, "Oh man!" So literally 3 weeks before I went on stage, I signed up for figure and started learning figure posing, and it's the same, but it's also very different. personally, I like physique. I like to like go up and flex the flex off. I don't like the heels. I want to be barefoot. Like I want, and like I feel like the figure posing for me is like kind of boring because you're just like, here's my lats, here's my lats again, and that's like and then it's very flowy and feminine, which is nice, but I like the muscle, the flex, like so. I want to be in physique personally. But right now, I am more figure. So I'll probably continue to compete figure depending on how I grow next year until I can get into physique, since that was the only comment from the judge that if I want to be in physique, I need to grow. So,
Yeah.
but I got the heels. I'll keep wearing them until I'm ready for physique.
Yeah, I used to one of my jobs. I used to work in a strip club, and that's all they had to wear high heels most of the time. And
Hmm.
those high heels, I have heard stories, especially when ladies do figure or bikini or wellness. Sometimes they had to squeeze their feet in. One lady told me one time she said sometimes take her hair dryer and loosen up the straps because they were so tight in the
Yes,
feet. Yeah,
that is a thing.
once you start doing physique or women's bodybuilding, you take off those high heels. Oh God, feel good. It's like we take off your bra. We come off from a long day of work. And say, shit, bah, 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 bah. Oh God, it feels great. Yeah, my man. Shout out to my man Jeremy. He says, "P.S. You look awesome. PTW." There you go, Jeremy. And there you go, you smooch. You got some flexing. Be cool. Put away the tissue and the lotion. You're good now. Now you didn't have to ask.
Thank you.
I,
I really appreciate it.
that's why I say I often don't ask someone to do flex because I tell guys, hey, you want to see flexing, go to the social media platforms. They're there. But when you do it voluntarily, that's much more appreciated.
Oh, I
So
love to flex. Like, girl at the gym the other day, I ran. She was like, "Hey, girl," and I was like, "Here, flex with me real quick." And we recorded it and I posted it. But yeah, I love flexing with people. And
yeah,
I told people right now, I was like, this is the first time in my life I have been this lean and this low of a body fat, like to actually really see striations and to like actually see my leg muscle. Like I've never actually seen my leg muscles lean. So I'm like, I'm gonna flex all the time. If y'all don't want to see it, you can just swipe past it because I'm gonna be flexing all the time until I start bulking again.
yeah. I think it's the same thing. Everything needs to work on the things that advance them as an athlete,
Mhm.
make the improvements. Like as
Mhm.
officers, it's the things that make you stranger can make you stronger. That's the other guy
Mhm.
likes to say. So now that feeling that you got it out of your way, you did your first show. What like say the plan is you want to take your time and grow. What's the thing from the judges they tell you that you need to work on the most?
I didn't get any of that from the judges. I honestly like because like I said, the whole reason I did this was to get judges' feedback, and so I felt a little bummed that they didn't like give me something to work on. And I literally asked him, I was like, "Well, are my legs behind my upper body because of the back injury I had?" And he had me pose right in front of him, right there, front and back, and he looked me over and he's like, "No," he's like, "You're very symmetrical, you're balanced." He's like, "You just need to grow into physique if that's what you want to do, like grow into it." So we're just gonna work on. I want to grow my legs. I still feel like my legs are not as where they should be. So I don't know what Ashley's plan is for me yet for bulking season. I have been with a coach for over 2 years now, so I had the choice. I decided I'm taking a month and a half off where I'm not coached. Like she guided me the reverse diet, everything to do and what to do while I'm away from her, but for the next month and a half, I'm going on vacation. We're going to Turks and Caicos on the 3rd through the 10th. My husband and I are going to Vegas. We're going camping for 4th of July. We're going to go see some comedians, like just have fun. I'm not going to go crazy, obviously. I'm going to stick to my macros during the day and all this stuff, but just go enjoy life a little with my family because I am a big believer in balance. And then July 14th, Ashley and I will probably we're going to start working together again, and then we'll pick the show for next year, what we want to work on, figure out my diet and all that stuff. So I don't know what the plan is yet from her, what she wants to do next off season, but it's coming. Right now, I'm
Well,
doing maintenance.
well, I say this. I don't have a plan. I'm just a dog chasing cars. I don't know what to do when to get one. He have a comment from my man. He's picking on me. He's my man. He's my brother. 40 grand. He's always talking shit about you. Like he says, yeah, the coming from the guy who goes crazy on the podcast every time he holds his personalized copy of Andrea Shaw on the magazine cover. Yes, because you know why? She's my girlfriend. I love her. I love her because
I love that you keep it close by.
yeah, because you know what? This is as I said again when she took the time out because a friend of mine, her name is Eunice. She's also in Texas. She runs a company Bad Rap. I'm seeing you. Check her out. And she took the time and she was at the Olympia and she had she asked her to autograph this for me. And you know what? This is what I say: if you're good at something, never do it for free. For my man, the Joker. And I just really get to learn something for y'all ladies. Be it you're someone like Ashley, be someone like Andrea, be someone like Sarah Vilgas, who's also she's run Texas Pros coming up in another couple of months. It's just about what it is to sacrifice as a woman in sport. Understanding the work you put in, the time put in. You have kids, and some ladies don't have that. Some do, and try to find the time to be a bodybuilder. Like I said again, the cost of being for a woman is a little high compared to the guys because you have to get your hair done, your makeup done, your posing suits. Then as amateur, you have to pay your fees to compete the shows, and you got to pay your NBC fees. It's a
Yes.
lot. It's,
So I can talk on that, definitely. So I will say to start, I think it's a little like I think the men go first, and I don't know, don't quote me on this. Someone tell me like why or if I'm wrong, but I think maybe the men go first because traditionally, bodybuilding was a men's sport, so they go first, and then the women come on. But I'm like, dude, I had to get up at 2:45 in the morning to check in with my coach at 3. And I will tell you that I asked her, do you want me to check in at like 6:30? And she said, no, I'll set an alarm. And she got up with me at 3 a.m. and did my check-in. She's amazing. But I got up at 2:45. I did my posing for her, sent it over. She looked at my photos, told me what to do with my diet and how much water to have based on my photos. And then I had to get my hair done at my makeup done at 4 a.m., my hair at 4:45, and my third tanning at 6:30. And then you get there when to check in or whatever at 8:30 because it starts at 9, and then we just sit there for hours. Like, and I'm like, we had to pay all this money to get our hair done. Everything is like falling out. Our makeup's getting messed up, and then now it's time to go on stage. I'm like, man, we have to do all this stuff